Hey guys, and welcome to one more episode of Builder Nation. For today's agenda, we have Tor Ivry, founder and CTO at Nanit, a startup company developing smart baby monitors powered by AI. So welcome, Tor. Super happy to have you here. Super happy that you have life in your battery still.
Thank you. Happy to be here. I have a career of about 20 years of experience, most of them being spent in companies kind of at the intersection between hardware, machine learning, software, those areas. Spent a few years in applied materials and Philips. Now, the story of Nanit actually begins with my co-founder Asaf, who in 2014 had his first baby boy. And as a kind of new parent, and with this experience with cameras and computer vision, he wanted to learn more about his kid and placed a webcam above the baby's crib. And just out of curiosity, he wanted to kind of see what he can learn. And he was fortunate enough to have an opportunity a few months later to join a unique program by the Jacobs Institute, which is an arm from Cornell University in the Technion in Israel. They have a runway program which allows postdoctoral students to kind of bring a commercial idea into life in this program. It's like an incubator. And he brought the idea of Nanit, which is a camera that is placed above the baby's crib and he is using machine learning, computer vision to analyze babies and parents' behavior and provide insights to parents. At this time, he gave me a ring and my wife was pregnant for the third time. And we had quite a few issues with sleep with our older boys. And so I found the idea of trying to build something that helps parents fascinating and intriguing. I was happy to say, yeah, I'm joining this ride, and it was 8 years ago, 2014, when we launched the company. It took us about 2.5 years to launch the first product, to kind of ship the first product to customers. As most of your other some of your other interviews explained about hardware products, they're like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And especially with a kind of a complex product that combines hardware, especially with camera and algorithms for computer vision, machine learning, and the cloud, and so many different things that work together to create this experience for the user.
How you're saying that it took you in order to launch the first product like 2.5 years? So yes. How many prototypes did you guys build before actually launching it?
So yeah, let me try. Since it's a machine learning product, we started by training our algorithms with an off-the-shelf device like cameras that we basically capture the videos, obviously with the consent of those volunteers, beta customers, and kind of use those videos to train our initial algorithms while we are working on building our own hardware, which we had, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 initial prototypes. But eventually, when we got our seed funding, we found a partner that was helping us kind of build the first product and the manufacturing line. This took us about 16 to 18 months to get to customers. And once we found that partner, because we already kind of had our initial plan and PRD of how we want the product to look like and behave.
How many people did you actually start a company with? It was you, your co-founder, and how many people?
The first 2 years, we were under 20 people. Especially in the first months, it was even around 10 people. So most of the team, like the engineering team, most of the engineering team were software people. So we really relied on our partners for the hardware part. I think the other piece that is unique for Nanit, on top of like a consumer business that is using really machine learning to provide customers or parents with a lot of information that helps them make conscious decisions around sleep, wellness, growth. There's another angle that not many people know is that Nanit is also doing a lot of cooperations with researchers around the world that are using Nanit as a research tool. So let's say they have like a research question they are trying to answer around baby sleep, for instance. Nanit is the device that they are using to kind of collect data. And then they use this data to answer a lot of questions around child development, for instance, around COVID, for instance, like how COVID affected baby sleep during COVID. Really interesting stuff. And the things that you can do in terms of early detection and detecting what is normal and what is not normal is just, I feel like even after 8 years, we're only just beginning, right? Yeah.
And I think it's great. And I have a lot of questions because I know that, I mean, I saw a video about how Nanit works. And apparently it goes beyond what's the usual, because on the app, you can actually, just like you're saying, you can track everything on the baby's wellness. Yeah. How did you come up with that, with the mobile app?
When we started, we knew that we want to replace what was at the time the very clunky and not so convenient experience of parents. And we wanted to bring it to the 21st century of like, use your own, you have a device, you sleep next to your device. If you want to watch your baby, you can just open. But it wasn't enough for us to just be able to stream video. We really wanted to alert you only when you need to know. Kind of, you open the app, the first thing that you see is what is the status of your baby. Like he fell asleep 13 minutes ago, or information about how well did he sleep. And so we kind of tried to flip it around and not just like make parents like go and check on the baby, but inform them when they need to know something. So this was like the entire premise of how we thought about the product. And our best way for mobility is just a mobile app.
I mean, earlier you mentioned how the first years were at the company. I was actually curious, like how hard it was to get your first investors, because normally like investors in the industry are maybe more used to aerospace companies or stuff like that. How hard it was to launch a company that, I mean, the main customer, it's parents and it's about babies.
Fundraising is always hard. You heard all those horror stories. It wasn't easy for us as well, especially because it's a hardware company. Add to that it's a consumer company. But I think you need to find like the believers, right? The people that actually can understand your vision. And when you do that, it's like magic. Actually, it's funny because when we start, like on the first times, we used to come with prototypes in a big suitcase, etc. But when we already launched product, at first, like we were coming to investors meeting, and Asaf was giving away, a Nanit as a sample for. Sometimes one of the VC partners will have a baby and they can try it at home, but like with time, you come to the meeting and they say, "Yeah, I know, I use Nanit." So I use Nanit.
No.
And then you know that okay, now we're in the right track. I think right now in the United States, it's a very, very known name. Not many parents almost all parents know about this product, which is very fulfilling to know that you're helping so many parents, and we're trying to now expand to other countries as well.
I noticed that you have a lot of retailers. I mean, you guys are in Amazon, Best Buy, Target. How hard it was to get yourself into the market?
Yeah, I think the hardest part was to actually get to a place where we have the inventory, right? So like the first year was a real challenge to get to a place where we are building enough product to ship on time and to kind of answer the needs in terms of how to provide enough inventory to work with retailers, etc. And by the end of 2017, we already had like a stable line with a nice yield, and we could sign up Amazon, which was obviously a big milestone for us. And later, like on 2018, we signed up Bye Bye Baby, and the rest is kind of built up gradually, right? It keeps being a challenge, especially in the last 2.5 years, obviously with logistics and inventory issues and parts and stuff. So it never stops. But like now we're a bit like the company is more mature, so we have the team and expertise to handle those things, but it's never easy.
Did you guys have any challenges, or did you find any challenges when it comes to the procurement process? I know that you guys are mostly hardware, software, but maybe with your partners, maybe you had something like that?
Definitely. In the last 2.5 years, we had to change sometimes parts inside the camera because we couldn't get parts in decent prices. We had all those challenges of supply chain and the containers stuck outside the LA port and stuff like that. Those things are not strange to us. In terms of business, however, like I think that as COVID hit, it was actually a growth trigger for Nanit because for many families, it was a tool that allowed the family to stay connected, even like when the grandparents are remote. They could watch and check on their grandkids through the app, which was a very nice way to stay connected.
Wow, that's great. And I wanted to ask you because I was watching a video about Nanit, and it was like really focused on military parents. How did you come up with this idea and why military?
I think it's just like another area where we feel like people that are giving to the country, we want to give them something back. We also had campaigns during COVID where we offered a lot of discounts for health industry workers and stuff. So it's just like our way to kind of thank those people for what they're doing.
I think what Nanit's doing is great. The storytelling of your videos, guys, is wow. It's amazing. I mean, I love how you start by actually like sharing a story and how you are improving people's lives.
Correct. I think this is like, if there's one thing that we want to, one mission is to really drive and make parenting just a bit easier. Yeah.
Especially, I mean, after your third baby, I don't know if you already have 4.
And my daughter was one of the first beta testers of the product. We actually used her and my partner Asaf kids to train the algorithms.
And last but not least, do you have any advice for future entrepreneurs or engineers or people starting on the industry?
The one thing I think that separates success from failure, and the line is very thin, is persistency. Believe and stay persistent to your idea. You will get there. This is the one advice that I can give.
Really straight to the point. And after 7.5 years, 8 years almost, we are here. So thank you so much for being here, Tor, for sharing your experiences, for sharing your story about Nanit with us. Where can we find you? Where can people follow you? Do you have any social media handles?
Yeah, sure. Just like you can look up for me at LinkedIn and hook me up. Thank you for having me. It was great talking.
Thank you so much. And remember, guys, that you can also find more information, interesting articles, interesting interviews directly on our main page, controlhub.com/builder-nation. We would love to hear from you. And once again, Tor, thank you so much for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.